Howdy folks, Argsy here. Welcome along to what is meant to be our first day of corn harvest, but as you can see, windscreen wipers are on and things are not looking the nicest outside at the moment. We've actually got rain forecast through until the middle of the afternoon, so a little bit of a late start on our way down to the farm today, but we're going to stop just up here and just go and take a look at the corn very quickly. It is ready to go. I'm pretty sure it should be all good to get in harvesting, so if we get a break in the weather, we'll definitely be out there. And there you go, looking across there, you can actually see that that is all turned and should be ready to start harvesting. So I'm excited to get in there and make a start on that very, very soon. Let's just head on in here on the left. Make sure we get turned in properly. There we go. And let's just go have a very quick look through the field because it is looking like a pretty good crop of corn. But the weather is not looking that good at the moment. So it's not too wet in here though. It hasn't been raining too much. It's not too heavy. It's just that frustrating kind of rain that means you really shouldn't be out here harvesting. Things are going to get all slushy and muddy and not very nice or anything like that. So yeah, that's the plan today. We'll head on up to the yard. We've got a few things to sort out before we can get started anyhow, and we'll get things all set up and ready to go. Well, here we are down at the yard, and if you're eagle-eyed, you can see through the frame of the shed there, you can see we actually have a little bit of activity, and they should be. It's not the nicest day. In fact, we might just park this in the shed here. Let's just have a look there. There we go. We'll hop out there and go and have a look because they are just finishing off the last of the bins. So we've got the bin here on the left, that one's all ready to go, which is good. Obviously the one in the middle is the one that's got the soybeans in. And we've got the crane there, just tidying up the last of that West Steel bin. So probably not the nicest day for them to be out. I don't know what they've still got to be doing. But hopefully, a couple of hours, they should be all finished and we should be able to use that. But if they're not, if that one's not finished off, we can at least use this one here on the right. Let's just have a look. Yeah, that's empty. This is the one with all our soybeans in it. 3,500 bushels, so we can at least start putting some corn in there once this rain disappears, and we can go and make a start on some harvesting. But we've got the combine all set up, that's sitting in here all ready to go. We need to get the tractor out, move the auger over, get that all sorted out, make sure the truck's all fueled up and good to go, and then we might be able to get into it once this rain all clears. So we're going to go sort those things out, and we'll get into a little bit of harvesting a little bit later on. Well, the rain has finally stopped and we have managed to get everything all sorted. We've got the truck is fully fueled, we've got the combine all set up and ready to go. We've obviously spent a bit of time on that over the last month or so. Now, we're heading over the road. We're going to go and jump into the cornfield, the big one over the road. Our leased fields, they're still another month or so away. If you recall, we planted those quite late, so can't get into those yet, which means we don't have to worry too much about the header trailer. Heading down to those leased fields, we'll probably try and put that on the trailer. See how it goes, but they did manage to get the bins finished off here. So the West Steel bin, the smooth wall bin, that's all done. Looking forward to using that, but in the meantime we did go and get everything set up here, of course, to put the auger into this bin. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see, a little bit nervous to see how much storage space we've got and how much of that we're actually going to go and get put in. Now, just moving over here very quickly, you have to remember we've got our baler and we are going to bale the corn stalks here off these fields, so we'll have to remember to make sure we are dropping those out the back of the combine and we can get in and start baling them at some stage. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. A little bit difficult because we need the tractor there on the auger. Don't really have another setup that we could run the auger with while we're using this tractor to bale. So yeah, not quite sure what we're going to do just yet, whether we might just get the field finished and then come back and bale it again later. We're going to have a little bit of help from Uncle as well, so he might drive the combine for a little bit. We'll get the field opened up once the truck's full. Then he might take over with the combine and we'll just run the truck back and forth. That's probably the loose plan. Worked out really well last time, so we might just carry on and get that done as well. So we're not going to get anything harvested here. We'll jump up into the combine. We'll head on over to the field. Well, here we are over in the field and ready to get going. Got the truck set up and all sorted. Now let's just drive in here just a touch And we're not dropping any corn swath, so if we just flick that over, that will hopefully, let's change over, let's just double check we've got that going the right way, there we go. And if we hop out, you should see we're getting a sizable corn swath there. That's actually a lot bigger than I was expecting. Not sure whether it's because we've got a high yielding crop, but I'm pretty sure when we dropped a little bit in that field there last year, it didn't feel quite as big as that, so that's promising, that's good. The unique thing here with the gleaner, as you can see, is it's an offset here in the back with how it drops the swath out the back, so a little bit different, a little bit unique. Black too. Burning a few dinosaurs. Right, let's jump up in here and we're just going to carry on. It's a good opportunity to jump straight into a little bit of a time lapse while we get the field open. I should actually, before we go any further, I'm going to reset our yield or our acre monitor. I think if I remember our key combinations correctly, I want to be pressing that one there. There we go. So we've reset both our yield and our acres worked, so we should be able to get a good grasp now on exactly what our yield is, and we're sitting up there 260 and climbing 200, almost 270 bushels an acre. I am pretty happy with that. Long may that continue, and long may a good harvest be on the cards. So let's carry on. Like I said, we'll jump into a bit of a time lapse and see when we're further through. there we go, that is the field opened up. We've done 3 headland passes and obviously this little section through here which made things just a little bit easier. We did have quite a haul. Typically, and not that I'm going to complain, but these yields are meaning we were filling up the truck after just one pass, and this will be, once we've emptied here, this will probably be the 3rd load we've got into the truck, which is a little bit concerning because it's 700 bushels a load. We've already put close to 1400 bushels in our 3500 bushel bin, so we are definitely going to get that filled up, I reckon. But so far so good. We've made a good hole in the field. Now what we're going to do is Uncle's actually going to take over. Going to get him running in here effectively as a hired help, and he will harvest while we carry on driving the truck and getting things done. But yeah, everything's just it's just going the way I wanted it to, which is good. So if we should be able to turn that on, lower that down, pipe back in, and now press that button, we should be able to jump out and he's going to carry on. So with this little break in here, it will mean he will turn right and go and get this whole section on this side all harvested out first, and then we'll come back and do this second part on the other side afterwards. So let's jump in the truck, go and get this load unloaded, and we will just take a bit of a look. You know, I've never noticed it say nitrogen is critical. Never noticed that before. Critical nitrogen. It wasn't before we harvested. Jump in here and have a look. Okay. Not perfect. Not okay. Anyhow, let's jump back up in here. Head on around. What are we? 88% full. That's worthy of going and unloading. No point waiting to fill that up. So we're going to get this dumped in, have a look how full the bin is, and then we'll just carry on. But look at these swaths here. There's a lot of corn stalks. We're going to get a lot of that taken off this field too, which is equally as impressive. There we go, truck's tipping. Let's just have a look around here. Up to corn, we're almost at, well, we are over 1700 bushels, so 3500 I think? 3556, so what's that, half of that's 15, 16, 17, 50, so we're already over half full just off the headlands. That's good. I'm not going to complain at all. That's certainly going to bode very, very well for our profits here on the farm. I actually have to have a look back. I can't even recall what the total amount of corn we got off that field last time was, so we will just have to go back and take a look at that and see what our total corn was last season. Anyhow, that's that emptied out. Let's jump back up here in the truck and we will carry on with the harvesting. We'll jump into a little bit of a montage now, I think, with Uncle driving the combine. Be able to throw the drone up and grab a few shots of him working while we carry on driving the truck and keeping him moving as much as we can. Well, there we are. We've managed to finish off this side of the field, so we're well over halfway, I would think, particularly when you count in the headlands. And this part of the field actually gets quite wedged down that end. The rows get a lot shorter very, very quickly because the bush here on the left sticks out, the river starts coming up, and it really narrows down. So I think we'll find we are going to race through this bit very, very quickly now. Just notice, obviously had something with the alignment there for the worker. That's fine. We'll pick that up. It'll be interesting actually to see which way they turn at the end here, whether they might turn right and be stopped very quickly, but we'll carry them on going. We're already up to a good amount of corn in the bin. It is filling up very, very quickly. What have we got in the back of the truck at the moment? There we are, another 88%, sitting there, another 625 bushels, so that is going to fill up very, very fast. We might just turn around, go and get this topped off from the combine, and we'll go and get it dumped into the bin. We'll just carry on, so we'll see you again once we probably finish the field. But everything is going very, very well. Another load back, and I think this is going to be the last one we can get up in this bin. I think looking at it last time we were only 100 or 200 bushels short of being full. So we'll get this backed up in here, and then we're going to have to get everything moved over into that smooth wall bin. I'm glad they managed to get that finished off, particularly considering the weather. I do need to try and see if I can work on the trigger here for this auger. It's very, very tiny, very, very hard to get right, but there we go. Picked it up now. Let's just see how much corn will go up in there. It's 100 bushels, 120 or so. That must be the bin full. Goodness. It's a good problem to have though, isn't it? Right, let's go and just double check. 3557, what's in this one? 3556. 1 bushel difference. Right. Let's get everything unhooked then. We're going to have to move this auger over, try and figure out exactly where it needs to go up on this one. I think we've got a trigger here, I think, for opening the gate on this one. Not sure where it is. Open cover, there we go. Press that, it's got the cover open up at the top. Right, let's get this all moved out of the way, moved over, and see if we can get it running up into the third of the bins. So there we go, we've got the auger and everything moved over to the bin. Let's just see if we can get backed up here again and find this trigger. Yeah, it is there. Got it. Right. Well, let's see if that all works properly. It's going to in the auger, up the auger, and we are perfectly. I've just about got that right in the centre. That is going just where we want it to. Right, well, we'll carry on now. We've got enough storage to definitely get the field finished. We'll just have to figure out what we're going to do with our own storage. But just come around here to the handle. That's about there. We should have. Just have a look now. Close the lid up the top we have. And we can jump back up here into the truck. Once we're empty, we will head on over and go and get the combine emptied out again and get that last little bit of the field finished. Looks like we might have got back here just in time, because I don't think, looking at that combine, it would have made it down and back again. So we'll get this emptied out, which is good. And just looking across the field, not too much more to go. A few passes in there, but they are going to get shorter. It did not take too long. We've got a few bits we need to tidy up once we've finished as well. Get that all sorted out, as well as that little section over there, but we'll probably have to run around and do all of that manually. But let's just get this emptied. Can't be too far away from being done. There we go. 338 bushels. And it does hold just under 50% of a truckload when it's full, so we can't have been too far away at all, which is good. Right, we'll head on down the other end, so we're all good and sorted, and we'll let them carry on. We'll probably just see when we're done. I don't have to worry about doing a time lapse or any montage on this little part of the field. We'll just get the corn all finished off, and what I might actually do is shoot off and have a little bit of a look through my figures and numbers and figure out exactly how much corn we had last season and how what we've got off this field compares to that. Well, there we are, job pretty much done. I've just come over here and taken up this last little piece here. I don't think there's any pieces on the end of the headlands there. No, there's a couple of bits we had to tidy up at the other end, but that is pretty much us all finished. We're just going to manage to get all of this in the combine. We'll back up and grab that little bit that was just there. But we have had this has been a fantastic crop, a bumper crop of corn, I would call it, because we have far and away exceeded the yields we achieved last year. I've had a look back through the records, and we'll have a look at that once we get up and get this last load dumped into the bin and see exactly how much corn we've ended up with. Of course, we're only comparing this field of corn compared to last season because the two leased fields, one, they're separate to Uncle and Auntie's farm, so that is our crop, and two, that's additional land which wasn't part of the system last year. So we are just trying to compare the improvements we've made here on the farm and see how much it's improved our yields. But there we are. We'll get this up over here to the end of the field, and we'll bring the truck down, empty into it, and then we'll get that over to the yard and see where we sit. There we go, getting pretty much all of that into the truck. Should be just about done. 331 bushels. So we'll carry on across our little beaten track we've got across here. A little bit frustrating, we've had a whole lot of weeds pop up in here, but I suppose that's a little bit of par for the course, isn't it? You've got the soil sitting there, conditions have been right for wheat growth, so that's what we've ended up with. We'll get rid of those when we get in there and plant it in the new year, but let's just carry on across the road here. I'm already looking forward to being able to get that shed finished off. I think that's hopefully going to be one of Uncle's first priorities once we start to realise some big improvements here on the farm. But let's just get this dumped in there, and we will go and do a final tally on how many bushels we've ended up with. So there's 3,557 in the first bin, and I'm just watching the truck get to empty. We've ended up with 1,621 here in this bin. So a little bit of quick maths takes me up to 5,178 bushels, I think. It was a very quick calculation in my head, but well and truly over 5,100 bushels, and we've increased that from just under 3,000. So almost getting very close to a full 100% increase, which is going to be huge for the farm. Not just for the fact we've got more product, but for the fact we're able to store it here on the farm and not sell it straight away. So we'll be able to get a better price for it when the prices increase later on in the year, particularly going into late winter, early spring. I think that's about when we might get the best price there for our corn. So yeah, very, very happy with that. So I think on that final point there, having the harvest finished, we'll go and get the combine, get that brought back over here, get it tidied up and put away just until next month when we're going to need it for our leased fields. We'll get the tractor shut off and everything else sorted out. But I think that is going to be a perfect place to wrap up this episode. A very, very successful corn harvest, very, very successful yields, and I'm very excited to take a look at what we might be able to do to improve the farm a little bit further. So yeah, looking forward to getting that done. But anyhow, as always, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that episode, and I'll catch you in the next one.